What's going on, guys? Your boy K-Star here, back at it again with another action figure unboxing review. Today we got something a bit special and slightly different. We're going to be blasting it back to Disney and the PlayStation 2 era with the Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Bringart's Aqua figure. So if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts and the series, this one might be a nice grab for you. So before we get into it, we're going to be doing our random item of the day, and today it's a West Midlands Safari Park African wild dog plush. So you can get these from West Midlands Safari Park, of course. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. So off the bat, Aqua's looking awesome, even in the window display. There is some gripes, it's not perfect, nowhere near perfect, but at first glance, it's looking very pretty. Very nice figure. So we'll go front of the box, Disney, some nice art around there. Kingdom Hearts Aqua, Bringart's action figure series, blah blah blah. The Square Enix emblem to make sure it's real. Side, a nice pattern, Kingdom Hearts 3. Back, some cute poses and awesome scenes you can get her into. Looking good, some Japanese shebang as always. The bottom, Square Enix emblem, and a seal to make sure it's official. On the side, nothing, and the top, nothing that interesting. So that's that done. So without further ado, we'll get into it back in just a second, guys. So with these figures, when you first open them, you're greeted to them in a nice and neat plastic shell. You get the accessories, the figure in the middle, and you get a nice display stand with a heart for Kingdom Hearts, which is awesome. But you know your boy K-Star rarely uses display stands, so we're not going to be getting that out, but I just thought I'd like to show you anyway. And then you get an instruction manual that tells you what to do, which I don't need either, but it's there for the banter. So yeah, here's Aqua, so we'll get her out right now. So as I said before, Aqua is looking absolutely gorgeous. Sorry if the light's a bit too much there, but she is looking amazing out the packet. You can see the colours and the contrast to a character, and to be honest, seeing other reviews and pictures, I didn't think she'd look that good, but having her in hand, I can safely say in hand she looks a million times better. So this is really, really cool. So we'll start off as always with some paint and detail for our girl Aqua, the Keyblade Master. So we start off with awesome blue hair, if my camera will focus, which it never wants to do. Aqua blue hair, looking awesome all the way around. You get some nice crystal blue eyes, like Cloud Soldier First Class eyes, sculpted on pretty nicely. Skin tone just right, a nice lip tone all the way around. And you get her Keyblade Master outfit, a bit of skin tone there, the nice pink strap with the silver emblem, looking absolutely awesome in the middle. The corset painted really well. I've seen some people have a rough one, but it looks like we lucked out on this one, because our corset is painted just nice. Same for the back. Absolutely awesome. The arms, probably one of my favourite. You get these like kind of metallic blue and purple mixed armlet guards from where she'd use her armour, and then just the white sleeve. A slight paint blemish there, which is unfortunate, but that can be sanded down with a bit of sandpaper. But the price of these figures, you shouldn't be getting that really, but we can't have everything. The waist, nothing really. So the same kind of material, white fabric that we get on Aqua. Looking absolutely awesome with the black leather suit. The legs, I've heard on other reviews they're painted a bit rough compared to the other stuff, so they decided to paint over the black, like sand down the middle and paint over the black with the skin tone. Whereas what I reckon they should have done is, can you see there where it's a bit rough on the skin tone, which is unfortunate? They should have just sculpted this black, or painted it black, the leather suit, and then sculpted a separate leg piece there, cream, and took the extra time, and then done the rest black, and that would have got away with any blemishes. But sometimes they rush these things to get them out, so we can't have everything, unfortunately. But the rest painted lovely. Black leather leggings, and then the silver armoured Keyblade Master Jester style looking boots, silver and black, so we can't argue with that. So overall, she's looking pretty pristine. As I said, a few gripes with the paint and detail and the quality control, which when you're paying like 75 to 80 bucks for a figure, you don't want to catch it. But we can't have everything, so all in all, I think we've lucked out really on our girl Aqua. So yeah, that's it for paint and detail really. So if you bear with me 1 second, we'll get into a few accessories. So in terms of our girl Aqua's accessories, there's some good and bad. First of all, you get 3 heads, so you get the head she comes with, the serious face. You get a closed eye face, if you want to pose her meditating or sleeping. And then you get a nice smiley face, which is quite nice. So that's quite cool. You get the 2 hands she comes with, the casual hands, as you see, open palm. Then you get 5 other hands, so you get 2 clenched fists, 1 hand for hold the keyblade, sorry, 2 hands to hold the keyblade, and then a grabbing out palm if you want to do a nice pose there. And this is the thing that disappoints me. Basically, in the game, her master is called Master Ericus, and this is his keyblade. No spoilers, sorry if this spoils it for anyone, but in Birth by Sleep, when he passes away, he hands this over to Master Aqua as a gift, which is pretty cool. However, it's not her keyblade. Her original keyblade is called Rainfall, and it's blue and silver, and it's really nice. And for no reason, there is no reason at all that they shouldn't have included it in this figure, especially when it's 80 bucks plus. So this disappoints me. Like, it's nice, but it would have been nice to come with her official Rainfall keyblade as well, which a lot of other reviewers have said in turn. So if you're listening, Square, probably not, but for next time, you should include both keyblades, because there's no reason you shouldn't. We get the 3 heads, and we get 2 keyblade hands. So why couldn't you have just gone that extra mile and included the extra keyblade? So that's the major disappointment for me, unfortunately. Before we get into articulation, what's good about these figures is the way the head is. It's on a single ball peg, so you can change them out really easy. So if you want to change Aqua's face out, you just simply pop the head off and then pop this one on. You don't get much range up and down, but it just makes it so much easier to pose if you want to change them out. So I don't usually interchange faces, but that looks awesome there. So you can keep on whichever face is your favourite. I like the stern face and the closed eyes face most, so we'll stick with Stern Master Aqua for the rest of this review. So that looks pretty dope. So what we'll do now, we'll get into a bit of articulation before the end summary, and then maybe a couple of poses if we can, and yeah, and wrap up with a comparison. So Aqua, this is the part that disappoints most people. So basically, she hasn't got much range. She's more a figure for the looks, for your display, just to pose her nicely and leave her there. So our girl Aqua, she has slight up and down at the head, but not much because it's on a thin ball peg. All the way around, and she can go a full 360 if you want to. The arm goes to about 90 or above if you want, and you can swivel it all the way around and get more. You get an elbow ball joint there, but be careful because you'll damage and scratch these metallic pieces here if you do that too much. So you don't want to do that. The wrist goes up and down, side to side, and all the way around if that takes your fancy, and the same for this arm too. So not too bad for Aqua's arms. The chest, her breast area, you can go forwards, backwards, and swivel it all the way around if you want to, but you'll scratch the corset, so I wouldn't bother. And the waist swivels side to side slightly, if that takes your fancy. So not too bad to start with. And these are floating ball joints, I don't know if I mentioned, so you can position them how you like. Sometimes it looks a bit ugly in the gap there, but what can we do? They could have put a butterfly in, but we're not going to have everything, are we? So you can just position them how you want. So that's not too shabby. This is the part where most people don't like her. So her legs, they don't swivel much at all. You get a side to side at the thigh, but you don't get much range. So you can lift them all the way up, but because the skirt or the shawl, whatever you want to say, is in the way, they're not engineered very well. So that is limiting the range. So you can do kicks and flies and etc., but it's very, very limited. And I've seen people have trouble with their legs falling off a lot at the ball joint because of how limited it is. So you have to be very careful with that. I don't think you can go quite far back, which is quite good, but you're not gonna get much range forward. So I'd advise to just pick a pose for Aqua, like a cross-leg ballerina pose or something, and just leave her posed with the keyblade if you can, and use the base. If you want to move the legs, use the display base. So the legs could have been engineered a lot better because they're a bit ugly to look at in that way. But these figures aren't known for having awesome leg articulation anyway. They're more for the collection and just to display, and they're quite high quality figures in regards of looks. So the best part about the legs, I'd say, is at the knee you get a double butterfly, so you can go really, really far and even further right up there. So that's quite good. So if you do want some sort of pose, you can have a falling into darkness, no puns intended, with a closed eyes face. So that is a Brucey bonus, and you can swivel the leg around to the position that you want. So every negative comes with a positive. So even though upper leg not good, knee joint very good, but I'd still be careful because mine looks very loose there, and that gives me anxiety issues already because it can look like it's going to come out. And finally, people are most disappointed with no ankle articulation because of the armour in the way at all, but all you get is a toe pivot. You can lift that up and down. So I think that's why people have gripes about this figure, because it's expensive, there's a few paint defects, and the articulation is limited. But for me, I'm not fussed about articulation. I prefer having my figures in a nice diorama pose and just leaving them there for the collection for people to look at and for me to look at when I want to. So for me, not too shabby, but for other collectors, I know this would upset you. So yeah, just a thought. If you're a super fan of Aqua, pick her up. She's worth it to look at, definitely, for the collection. However, if you're articulation mad and you're obsessed with having good articulation in figures, this isn't for you, I wouldn't say. But in terms of looks, I'd say a solid 8.5 out of 10. Articulation and range, probably only about a 5. But other than that, very solid, very cool, and I need her for the collection anyway to finish the trios. So yeah, that's it really. So it's bring out Kingdom Hearts 3 Aqua from Square Enix. Not too shabby at all. So finally we'll wrap up. I'll try and get her in a quick pose for you, and we'll see what we can do with the hands, and then do a quick comparison before we sum up. So bear with me 1 second, guys. So as you can see there, guys, I've changed the hands out, put the keyblade in, and I've tried to get her in a sort of dynamic pose. But it's really difficult with this one because she's very limited in terms of articulation, because as I said, with the legs, the wrists are very limited also because of these sleeves. So The wrists are on like a ball peg, so you have to disconnect the bottom of the keyblade, slide the hand in, and then try and fiddle it round. But in terms of looks, as I said, absolutely perfect. You get a nice representation of Aqua there for the collection. So I don't think she's too bad. And if you've seen a lot of art, she stands with the keyblade by her side anyway. So you're not going to have her posing it too wildly. But if you wanted to do it like holding with two hands, that would be extremely difficult, and I advise caution and a hairdryer to loosen up the joint so you don't snap it. But other than that, for a figure, she looked good, and I'm glad I picked her up. So yeah, sorry to sound really negative on this one, guys, but at the end of the day, it's a review, and I have to go through all the points even if I like it. So as I said previously, in terms of looks and sculpt, I'd say about an 8.5 to 9. They could have done the legs a bit better, but really good. Articulation and range definitely only about a 5, because for you guys that love articulation, it's a bit shocking really. So this might not be for you, but all in all, solid figure. So what we'll do to wrap up is we'll do one quick size comparison with Aqua. So she stands about 6 inch, just under tall. So we'll get Bringart's Riku. And if you guys know about Kingdom Hearts 3 and the series, you'll know Aqua falls into darkness for a certain reason, which is quite sad in the series. And Riku goes to find her with King Mickey. So if he'll actually stand up and not mug me off, we'll be able to size comparison these two together as Aqua falls over. And I think they scale really well, because Riku is a tall guy. Riku's figure might be slightly too tall, but all in all, I think that scales quite well. So Riku in the game goes down to try and see if he can save Aqua. No spoilers. Again, if you've not played Kingdom Hearts 3 by now, I apologise. But yeah, those two look epic together, and along with other figures in the series, you can get Kairi, Sora, Roxy, Sion, Axel, a lot of others, Ventus, and hopefully I'll be getting Terra in soon when he's released to finish the trio. And maybe Ventus, I'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for your time as always. Means a lot watching my videos and supporting me. Love to make content for you guys. Leave your feedback down in the comments below, and if you want to see any other figures from the series or other places, drop them also down in the comments below. Please leave a like and hit that notifications bell with a keyblade. Stay up to date with us, and think about subscribing if you're feeling extra generous. That'll be awesome and mean a lot to me. See if we can grow the channel, keep putting out good content for you guys. Thanks very much as always. Stay safe and keep collecting.